Hey there, WaxPackers! Adam coming back at you again with another edition of WaxPack Flashback. Very excited to be continuing the trading card adventures here, and we're going way vintage here to an institution of the 80s. That's right, we are going to be opening up a pack of E.T. the Extra Terrestrial cards by Topps. Yes, definitely a celebration of that 1982 Steven Spielberg film, which just dominated the box office, dominated home video. Honestly, any thrift store you go to, they're going to have multiple copies of E.T. there. You only need one. Even at the time, if you see here that green band on there, they put that on to help mark the official tapes from the bootleg tapes, because they knew it was in such high demand there were going to be bootleggers out there. Just real interesting history. Now, as far as my personal history with E.T., I definitely experienced it later through like secondhand pop culture, because it came out in 1982, the year I was born. So it wasn't something where I was in the theater, even on a re-release. I never saw it in the theaters. But I did have some dolls. I had that leather E.T. doll, that had that kind of weird skin on it, which flakes off. I have one, but I keep it in a Ziploc bag because it's all flaky. But they also released, a little plush guy here, which I found at the thrift store a few years ago. Just a beautiful, beautiful, cuddly version of E.T. There were little figurines. I mean, there's all sorts of interesting paraphernalia that came out related to the movie. I did not see it, though, until I was a teenager. In fact, my version of E.T. growing up was Back in Me, which was trying to repeat the formula 6 years later. It was goofy, it was silly, it's Paul Rudd's favorite clip to show on the Conan O'Brien show, right? But I love Mac and Me. Unfortunately, there are no Mac and Me trading cards, so we're gonna have to settle for E.T. now. I'm just kidding. I know that it's beloved. When I finally did see it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then Steven Spielberg did his, remastered edition, where he added all sorts of, blinking eyes to E.T., took away the guns out of the unseen adults, that are running through the forest and things like that. I've even come across some Happy Meal toys from that era that my kids love playing with. They're kind of fascinated by E.T. I still haven't shown it to them, though, because I think they'd be scared or bored. Who knows? Either way, let's open up these cards. Let's see what memories from the film are hiding within. Okay, so here we are with our pack of E.T. the Extra Terrestrial in His Adventure on Earth trading cards by Topps from 1982. We see we get 10 cards, 1 sticker, 1 stick of bubblegum. I do like that. It is Adventure on Earth, because it kind of makes you wonder, were we going to hear about his home planet? I know they did in a sequel book, but not in a movie, obviously. We've never gotten that. But here we get a little advertisement for soft bazooka bubblegum. Did you still get a comic in there? That's what I want to know. But either way, these are... this is a nice solid wax pack when you feel this. And the cards themselves, this is a substantial pack of cards. You feel like you're getting something special here. So let's open this up and see what's inside. Okay, there's our gum. Very faded, very old. 82, man. That's a ways. Okay, so first up here, we have our Among Elliot's Toys, where E.T. is hiding there. I always loved looking at that, because I'm pretty sure that's a Wile E. Coyote. And isn't there a Mickey Mouse and some other stuff mixed in there, if I remember correctly? So, yeah. Much to his bewilderment, the extraterrestrial must share some space with a few silent, stuffed friends. Okay, so there you have that background with Elliot and E.T. going across the moon, that signature image of Amblin Entertainment now for Steven Spielberg's company after all these years. What do we have here? E.T. and the Flower. Okay, where he's just exploring the house while everybody's at work and school. Let's see here. Oops, get back here. A droopy geranium belonging to Gertie undergoes a delightful metamorphosis after E.T. stares at it for a while. He just stares at it? Is that really all he did? I guess so. All right, let's check this out. The emergency ends. The creepiest part of the movie, right? This is when everybody... Man, these don't want to stay in my hands today. Get back here. Maybe E.T. is sending me some messages via our psychic link. But here we go. Is he dead, Mama? Gertie asks. Oh, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Oh, and here's a little bit more of that here. So, here's a fun fact. right here, this is this guy playing, Elliot's brother here. Why do I always forget his name? Michael. So my brother is 17 years older than me. And so he was in, junior high school about the time this was coming out. And he said he remembers being in junior high with this kid. Like, we grew up in California and he was an actor. And so it's like that E.T. movie came out. It wasn't cool to us at our age, but it was a big deal. Oh, now this is weird. Look at this right here. The friends meet, but it looks like, E.T. is being superimposed there, like on a background. That's just strange shadows there. An amazed Elliot looks on as the creature makes his way down the hall, following the trail of candies. Despite the frightening look of their unearthly fellow, Elliot doesn't feel threatened in the least. Just the candies, huh? They're not going to tell us that it's Reese's Pieces, that it could have been M&M's. All these fun facts we learn years later, People didn't think it was going to be, oh, hey, what do you know? Speaking of which, there is the trail of candy. But I feel like Reese's Pieces wishes they could have gotten a little bit more ink there. But again, look at Elliot right here. Look at this head. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Is that how it looked in the movie originally? I feel like I'm going to have to watch that old VHS again and check it out. All right, so yes, I remember that Reese's Pieces eventually creates their own alien when they kind of lose their connection to E.T. So here's Elliot's search, checking out E.T. and all the noises that are coming from the shed, throws that ball, then it comes back at him here. Okay, next up was Fright in the Woods, but that's not where our next card is. Here we go with Unearthly Thirst. Here he is. That's right, getting a little buzz, E.T. Remembering how Elliot popped open a can of soda and drank the fizzy liquid that was inside, E.T. does the same, only it isn't soda he's guzzling down, it's beer. Oh, E.T. passing it on to Elliot while he's in class. There he is, okay. I do like this pack that they're kind of giving you cards that are connected. Also, loving, that I match E.T. and Elliot and everybody with my flannel on today. Now here's a happy alien. After swinging open the refrigerator door, E.T. howls with delight as the aroma of food fills the kitchen. Harvey the dog looks on, hoping for a snack. We have a Harvey the cat at my house. I didn't know there was a Harvey the dog in this movie. And finally, little Drew Barrymore. Gertie says hi. Okay, let's see. Which scene is this? Gertie would love to tell her mama about the spaceman living in Elliot's closet, but her brothers have sworn her to secrecy, threatening to inflict mortal injury upon her doll if she blabs about what she's seen. So that's all the main cards, but what does Gertie do? Yep, on the sticker, dresses up E.T. in a nice little outfit. Got the wig, got the dress, got a little bit of jewelry, some fancy gloves, the classic look. I wonder, I'm assuming there's not a card in this thing with Yoda, but I would have loved to see that. All right, let's see which of these is my favorite. E.T., the Extra Terrestrial, and his adventures on Earth. Yeah, definitely a set of cards that follows the standard model of movie cards of the era, but you can't help but look at those and then just feel the nostalgia kind of wave over you. Because, like I mentioned, even though I didn't watch E.T. growing up as a little kid, I did get exposure to E.T. I was remembering this as those cards are coming through, that I used to go to Universal Studios a lot. And as you can see, E.T. was kind of the spokesperson in the early 90s because they had just introduced E.T. the Ride. And I loved this ride. It was super fun, especially at the end when he'd say, "Bye, Adam." It was great. And you could just while you're waiting in line, it's like you're in the forest. They had the little satellite, transmitter thing that they set up. They built out of the speak and spell. It was a full immersive experience, and I loved it so much. So that, I think, is my biggest connection to E.T., after all these years, even when I think back, okay, the movie's good. But speaking of these cards that the movie inspired, as far as my favorite goes, it's got to be this moment right here, because I'm imagining this being reused. You know how they would use old scenes for movies and characters? How could Budweiser not have said, "What's up?" You know, on their 90s commercial campaign? Could have licensed this from Universal Studios, but it totally looks like that's what he's up to there, about to grab that beer. Anyway, there was E.T. the Extraterrestrial cards by Topps from 1982. We have a lot more to come this year. I'm actually very excited about the next pack of cards. It's going to be another pack of movie cards, so I hope that you will stay tuned and get ready for that, because it's a film that means a lot to me, a lot more than E.T., so I'm going to have plenty to share with you. But either way, stay tuned, stay subscribed here on TRN TV, and remember, every time you see Geekster now out there online, Geekster is the Retro Network. We're just kind of making that transition all the way to Geekster right now, but it's a brand new opportunity to bring in so many people who love pop culture, both retro and, retro-inspired current pop culture, as it seems to be. But either way, thank you so much for checking out this video, and we'll check you later.